Hi everyone, I'm Carolina Casanova. I'm the youth pastor for NFG, and this is my husband, Gianni Casanova.
Hey guys, so we're going to go ahead and just talk about some practical things, effective things to do to use your time wisely while we're in quarantine. We know that we're all kind of stuck at home. Maybe you still have your job, maybe you don't, but we do have a lot more time on our hands. So we just want to talk about a few things that we do and a few things that we thought of that we can start doing as well, that hopefully you guys can use as well.
Definitely. We're going to talk about some spiritual things along with some practical things to keep us busy and not feel like we're going insane or not feel like we've been home all day. So we first want to talk about the spiritual aspect. You want to start?
Yeah. So we should try to start your day with Christ. With Jesus. So maybe you wake up, one of the first things you do is pray a little bit. Instead of just getting up straight away, maybe turning on the news, which we have done sometimes. It's best to start your day off with Christ. That way it's like a nice beginning, a nice start to your day, that you start with Christ and Christ will continue to be in throughout your whole day.
Definitely. You can either set a specific time early in the morning or when you wake up, especially if you have nothing planned for the rest of the day, whenever your family or anyone you're with, whenever you guys are awake, set some time. Let's pray together. Let's put some songs and worship together. Let's start our days with Christ.
So another thing you can do is also begin a Bible plan. A lot of us have the Bible plan app in our phones, and you can actually share to start those apps, those plans with your friends.
Definitely. And if you have iPhone, Android, any type of cell phone, you can definitely download the Bible app. And in that Bible app, you can start a Bible plan, which is kind of like an online devotional, and you can share it with people. So if you want to stay in touch with your friends, even though you're not physically next to them, this Bible plan is a great way to connect spiritually with them, with your friends, with disciples, with family as well, with those around you. It's a great way to share the gospel in a way that's very practical, in a way that even if you're far away, you can still remain close. You can still view each other's responses in the app. It's something that we do together. It's something that I do with my discipleship. And it's something really nice because you get to see their response. You get to encourage everyone on a daily basis to, don't forget to do the Bible app, and you get to see their interaction.
Yeah, and you also see that obviously God speaks to us in all different ways and unique ways. So these Bible plans, these Bible verses and everything, they speak to people differently, and you can get those perspectives.
Definitely.
Another thing that we like to do when you blast music, because a lot of times, maybe you have speakers or whatever, you're home a lot, so you want to listen to music. Sometimes just put on some worship and make it a moment of worship. You're just listening to music, and it's just a moment where you're like, okay, let me focus on God a little bit. And it becomes a moment. If you let it become a moment, you just separate a little bit of time. Instead of just listening to something else, put on some worship and make it intentional in a way where you're praying, you're interceding, you're prophesying, anything like that, because God will use you even in those moments where you just want to listen to music.
Definitely. We also highly recommend to focus on prayer, especially with the pandemic out there. We have people, unfortunately being ill, dying left and right. So definitely focus on prayer. Pray for families families you don't know, all the first responders, all the doctors, nurses who are on the front lines, taking care of the people that are sick. Definitely pray for them and pray for each other, keeping ourselves motivated, because in these times, especially if you live alone or if you're far away from your family, depression could be something that hits, you could become unmotivated to do things. So just a simple prayer for someone, send them a text, hi, how are you doing? That can definitely cheer up someone's day.
Mm-hmm. Do something that you wouldn't normally do. So we also want to talk about some practical aspects. You want to start us off?
Sure. One of the first things is working out. You may have heard it before, but with the gym closed, that's no excuse. We have YouTube, we have apps, especially now in this pandemic, people are releasing free workout advice. Definitely take advantage, and if you can't do it yourself, grab a partner, be motivated, be self-motivated, or have someone to be accountable to help you work out. It's definitely a great way to pass the time, and working out also releases endorphins, which physically and literally makes you feel better.
Yeah, also do it with your family members, whoever's around you that you live with, because you can always be accountable to each other. It's always a little bit easier to work out with other people because you can kind of compete or make it fun. So that's another great tip to do. Something else that I've also but because we got married now, we have more time to do so, is cook. Look up recipes, whatever food you have in the fridge, cook something that you haven't cooked before. It might be delicious. It's something really useful as well because you're learning something.
Yeah, many of us are waiting for that one time you can go out to buy groceries, so let's make it intentional. Have a recipe beforehand and make a grocery list according to that, so that way when you get back home, you guys can cook. Children, if you're with your parents, help them cook, not just children, young adults, whoever. If you're with elderly people or parents, help them cook, do some dishes as well. Tell them, Mom, Dad, let me handle lunch for today. And it's a great way to also be responsible in the household.
Yeah. And another thing, if you guys are married, we've been married for about a month and a week or so, give your spouse time. Don't just make it about your own thing. Now that you have a lot more time that you didn't have before, a lot of unexpected time, be intentional with your relationship with your spouse as well, so that you can be more happy, you can be more together, spend that time together.
Definitely. And the last thing we want to say is to involve those around you. Even though you might not be physically next to them, using platforms like Zoom, Skype, FaceTime, we can talk to people, talk to your friends, talk to people who might be alone in these times, who maybe their families is not with them, they're not with their family. Definitely, let's be intentional, let's be compassionate towards others. A friendly text, hello, can mean a great deal to someone who is alone. So let's not forget the community around us. There are so many virtual things we can do with them. There's so many ways we can reach out without being physically close, and doing our part to stop the spread of COVID-19.
Yeah. So we all have the love of Christ. We all have that joy and peace that is kind of unnatural to other people around us. So we have it, so we're able to give it to others. So go ahead and do that. We want to go ahead and thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening, for taking some time to view us. We hope these tips have been very useful for you guys, and I hope you guys can use them as well.